So Bill,
we're back.
We're back.
Coach's Corner. A little twist again, though. We got Mike, Wright, weight room, strength and conditioning, and we're joined by a couple students here from Melusi and Khyah.
Yes.
Awesome. Couple student representatives like last week. It'll be
it's good to have the kids.
Yeah, coming off homecoming. Great week. Football went on Friday. We had some other activity. We had a Powder Puff game on Wednesday. You guys played? You almost won it?
I was a cheerleader. I was supporting the pink team.
Okay.
Red just didn't do his job.
Red was not good.
So pink won?
Pink won.
Cool.
Did you score a touchdown? It was great. I scored a touchdown. It was fun. I do it again.
Cool. And then we had parade Wednesday, coronation was Sunday. It was a real busy weekend. It was culminated by a big football win on Friday. It's always, I think, a better week, at least from my perspective. The football team wins on Friday. And so,
just get rid of the lightning delay next time.
Yeah, I did make it for a really longest game ever, but still came out with a win. But yeah, we're here. We're going to talk, kind of all sports in general. You tend to touch on a lot of sports, or all of the athletes in the weight room. I know we're in this first season here, but summer weights. How'd it go?
Summer weights went really well. We're happy with our attendance overall. We think it picked up a little bit from last year. As we were talking before the podcast, we had 20-some perfect attendance kids, which is pretty impressive considering the year before we only had like 3, I believe, 3 or 4. So it bumped up quite a bit. I think overall, just from football to tennis to cheerleading and to golf or whatever sports we work with, I think attendance was up overall. And that's what we're really trying to hit in the weight room, is just consistency. I think our middle school weights did a nice job this summer too, so all the way through.
I think that's important, starting young. Did they have middle school weights when you guys were coming through the middle school?
Not at all.
Yeah, I think they did. But
During the summer maybe, but
it wasn't too much.
And I don't think it was advertised as much as it is now.
And they got a pretty cool little setup down there too, in the old wrestling room. I mean, with this rope fitness type stuff in there with the weight racks and everything. I mean, that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, they have 4 new racks and all new equipment, so the middle school kids are kind of spoiled.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a lot different how it's evolved from the old tunnels back in my day to the weight room at the high school and now the weight room at the middle school.
But now it's like to compete with the teams we're playing against.
Yeah.
It's a necessity.
Everybody lives.
Everybody's got to do it. You got to do it.
And it's not necessarily that one program's better than the other, it's how consistent are the kids. Are they coming in and doing it? And you can tell the kids that have been in since 7th or 8th grade, when they get up to be juniors and seniors, the difference between it. And there's definitely some genetics and other things that play into it, but consistency is like the most dominant thing I look at from performance.
Starting them early too, even if it's form. Not pushing heavy weights or anything, right?
Correct. If we can start them in 7th and 8th grade with their form and technique, so by the time they're, 8th grade, 9th grade, they can start adding the weight to it, and life's a lot easier.
That's great. I mean, I think that starting them early and, see that grow, and then obviously that makes hopefully your job a little bit easier. And so, coming off of summer, last spring. When did you get the 1080? Was that last spring?
We actually, got it last November. Kind of played around. It's almost been a year.
Wow.
I think Khyah was involved in the presentation. She came over and talked a little bit. But we kind of fiddled around with it November, December, and then we started going pretty heavy with it January, February, through the rest of the year. This summer was kind of a little more hit and miss. This fall it's hit and miss because we try not to take the kids that are out for a sport to do it. So luckily most of our kids are multi-sport athletes or involved in cheer, dance, those kind of things.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely getting its use, and I think...
Are the results coming by the use of it, do you believe?
Yeah, I think we used it pretty frequently during track season last year. I think our kids got quite a bit faster as the course of the year. Contributed to a lot of different factors, but I think that definitely played a large part of it. So it's a pretty neat thing.
Absolutely.
Have you ever, this 1080 machine, have you guys ran on it? You guys like it? Yeah?
For sure. I think it's good.
I honestly, especially for me as a distance runner, I don't do sprints or anything like that, but I know that it's helped me go faster. Like I've seen my times drop like drastically, like especially during the flying 10s that we do like in sprint. Like I was going from 1.2s to like 0.99s for some reason. So I know that the 1080 is definitely helped.
So part of that is I think it's a kind of, I haven't seen it in action live or anything, but it kind of, does it make you run faster or like there's resistance or how would you describe?
There's like different uses to it, so you could run like resistance and also assistance. Me personally, I like the assistance better than the resistance because that's kind of harder. But I think it's definitely.
So you like attach it and it like
Yeah.
pulls you faster than
Yeah,
you're supposed to run?
You get to a certain point and you just take it off and then you keep
Keep running.
So,
A lot of the 1080 documents like how much, I think it's how much speed and how much power you're like putting into the run within itself. So like it's a lot easier to track your progress like while you're using the machine itself. It kind of lets you know like what you need to work on specifically while you're running. Especially like I remember we used to take videos while we were running. Like I would see like my friend Nathan Bugalow's form while he was doing his shoulder and things like that. You know what I mean?
And so then you can kind of think, hey, when I'm running with this, I want to really push off my leg, and so it kind of makes you think about it more then, like more aware.
At least that's what I got from majority of the time.
Yeah.
And you're actually in sport right now with cross country, right?
Yeah.
And so have you seen like, I mean, is this like from the start of the year to now? I mean, are you progressing? Are you got districts I think coming up soon? I mean, are you peaking right time, or do you think you're doing pretty good?
I think I'm doing decent for the most part. I do think I need to work on my speed training a little bit more, but I'm been more focused on like the distance aspect of it, especially with it just being pacing 24/7.
Oh yeah, for sure. Over what 3.1
90
miles?
miles.
Yeah, you gotta have a good kick maybe at the end, but it is more of that pace.
Survival.
Yeah, like you
Right.
said.
Oh, survival 100%.
Absolutely.
Every day during the race, I just think
What am I doing?
Did you get a lot of miles in the summer then?
a lot.
Yeah, and that's part of, I mean, putting in your time then, or I think that's what always, both Coach Fitz is.
You got quality coaches
Yeah.
that will require that.
You know, and they want you to get that miles in so you're not showing up, you know,
It's just-
out of shape.
It's very much, cross country is very like a mental aspect of things. And I think it's
100%.
harder during the summer, like especially with summer weights and things like that. The hardest thing about what's called doing the sport itself is just showing up.
Yeah.
Showing up and being consistent with it. Like I always tell like the freshmen that I have now to like have a specific goal in mind and believe in it, so that way you know what you're working towards. And I feel like that's kind of what the kids that didn't show up lacked. Like they didn't really have like a reason to be there. They just
The mindset was off.
yeah, the mindset was off. But I feel like the kids that showed up to summer weights and summer running for us and things like that, they know what they believed in, they know what they wanted to achieve, and they just started working towards it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys are both in with that 1080, you know, we brought that up, that's something that, you know, the Booster Club did provide. I think we went in like, I think 3/4 of it, I'm glad to see, you know, you guys using it. You know, one thing we'd hate to do is buy something that collects dust in the corner or whatever, and that's awesome that you like it, but it's also, you know, through our membership and our, you know, concessions and things like that, that's how we're able to do that stuff, so we definitely want, you know, people to keep signing up. We are having a great year on our membership drive. I think one of the best years ever coming off of COVID, and then no home football games. So, you know, definitely want to, you know, kind of get that plug out there and, you know, have people definitely,
Sign up.
Yeah, keep signing up.
Be part
Keep
of the
signing up, you
That's
know.
right, exactly.
You know, and another thing that we purchased here recently was part of homecoming was the new Cardinal. And, hi, I think you're a cheerleader, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just think about maybe getting in that next game.
If it has, you said it has air conditioning.
There's air conditioning and ice packs, so they got these vests with like ice packs, and so you put them in there, and so I think it has 2 changes, so as one warms up, then you can change it out, and then it's got a
Just go ahead and mark her in for the next game.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
We'll
Alright.
let Linda know.
Got it.
Linda Swanson's in charge of that for
Alright.
us. So, but yeah, it's awesome to see that Cardinal back. Had been kind of neglected for a while. We had 3 bad Cardinals that made one kind of okay Cardinal, and now we got a brand new one. So,
It's good for the youth to see too, the young kids at the game.
I thought it was
love
neat that I saw on like social media, like the Cardinal out taking pictures
Yeah,
with kids.
absolutely.
I think Lance posted a bunch of that
Yeah.
stuff. And like, that's kind of what the mascot should be, right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Or had walked down, I don't think we had it yet on Wednesday, but, had part of the parade, a part of that festival. I mean, those kids looking up to it and getting those pictures,
Yeah.
those are definitely pretty cool.
When I was younger, and the cheerleaders would come to school, I would always look forward to seeing the Cardinal.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's good.
Which, yeah, kudos, I don't know if you went to my daughters, but Covington, but when the football players, that's what all the football players and like the cheerleaders went and put on their pep rally.
Yeah.
They're just, that's like was the highlight of their day. Might have been the
They were
highlight of their
good.
homecoming,
They were
and
really good, yeah.
getting them all fired up and stuff. And, I don't think they understand at the elementary level yet, but, they're getting them to buy in and have that fandom and things like that,
Circle back around then, so you said you have some goals in mind for cross country.
Yeah.
So now that we're getting towards the end of the year, what were some of your goals and how close are you to getting to those goals?
It was definitely the one thing I kept in mind, like all throughout my months of training, was just make it to state. Like
Yeah.
just have my team make it to state more specifically, and have myself actually be a part of the contribution to make me there. Because we score 4, and I'm supposed to be like either the 4th or 5th runner, so like one way or another, like I'm gonna be just knowing that I'm gonna be part of something like as big as that.
Oh, yeah.
Like as big as, hey, I helped my team go to state, and I kind of showed my work for it throughout all this time. Like, it's heartwarming, and it's satisfying.
Well, I think that's something that, not only for somebody to say get a state medal or qualify, that's awesome, but to do it as a team,
Yeah.
and that whole team camaraderie and all of that. So I think that's a great goal.
Absolutely.
Do you think you're pretty close to getting that goal? I think when we had interviews with Ramsey or Miss Fitzsimmons there,
Yeah.
she definitely
She was excited.
She was excited, so
I think she's always excited, but.
Yeah.
You're probably right, but she was extra excited when she did talk about you guys, so I know there's some good stuff going on, so that is awesome.
Especially after we had our top runner last year. He was definitely a big part of the reason why we go, but I think it's more special because it's not necessarily like we're relying on that number one.
A bit more depth now.
Yeah, now it's just
Strong.
like we're like
As a
together,
team, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what makes it even more special. Just going with your friends and going with the people that you care about, and like working together, knowing that you guys want to achieve something so big. Like I feel like that's what matters most.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
I think that kind of brings up just the coaching and the kids nowadays anyway. I think we're at a point in time where we have really good coaches that really care about their kids a lot, like all the way through the sports and all the seasons. And then we have, great student athletes that are involved and care a lot. And I think these guys have spoke to that today. So it's like a pretty exciting time to be a Cardinal. And I know people throw around the culture word a little bit, but I think that culture is trending up at South Sioux right now.
If you don't have culture, you don't have wins.
Right.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
And not every sport wins as much as they like, but I think you still have the good coaches that are trying hard and, just keep
You see
getting kids
improvement.
buy-in,
Right.
encouraging the kids to lift, encouraging other kids to come out.
Well, and I think part of it, you get a good core group, like, maybe you have one person on the cross or whatever, and then, hey, you buy, and then you get this core, right? It kind of builds around that core.
Yeah.
And then, and I think that could be said the same with the football team, with the 2 guys we had last week with DJ and with Tony, and you kind of see that. I think basketball might be a little transition year this year because they kind of graduated a big core.
Yeah.
I think I definitely can see that, but and I bet some of those relationships and some of that core is built in the summer.
For sure.
It's built in the weight room.
Yep. Just being built up. We sport, I know our girls 4x1 team's had a lot of success lately, and it's kind of just like, all right, who's going to step in next when somebody else graduates? And that's kind of what we're shooting for in all the sports and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I definitely love about sports. It's just like you find people that you just connect with. That like you're building that relationship and that culture just between each other. It's a 24/7 thing.
And I think it puts you in positions too, like they're not necessarily, but hey, we're going to be at this track meet. There's stress, there's anxiety, there's butterflies, and then we're going to do this together. And I think you put, I think they say you sweat and you bleed with a teammate, right? And it makes those bonds more than just you know, a friendship, right? Because of these experiences,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you fight with the cheer squad like 24/7?
Do we fight?
No, not fight, not fight. Like, how close are you guys with each other? Because I know I see you guys practice like all the time.
I know when you're with people every single day, practicing like and having like the same goal, you're obviously gonna get closer. So like with cheer, I definitely think that this year it's a little bit different. We're very close, you know, we're all in like a group chat, so everyone like puts in like what they want to do, and I feel like a lot of the new and incoming cheerleaders have a lot of great ideas that I think also bonds us because we're like, oh yeah, like that's so good, let's do that, let's make it happen together, you know what I mean? So, yeah,
Because I know
we're pretty close.
it's a little bit hard coming off of last year because I remember at last year's pep rally they said majority of the cheer squad was seniors and the majority of the cheer squad was like freshmen.
Freshman, yeah.
Yes. And so then like there's that in between where it's like there's not too many people, but I'm not sure if you were close with them like as much as you wanted to be, considering there wasn't very many of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, we never really like pay attention to like the grades. Like we all stand, like we're all mixed in our lineup together. So whoever you're standing by or across from, like it just doesn't really matter.
I think it's all right that, you know, for me, you know, stand there and all the eyes, and you already got so much to worry about. It kind of scares, who cares? We're in this together, and
Yeah.
you know, let's not screw up. I guess that's when all eyes are on us, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think one other thing, kind of to what Melusi was talking about, both these two are like part of the ACL group in school, which is a Academy of Cardinal Leaders, and just
So
these
it's
guys.
not like a knee joint replacement group. It's the ACL.
Correct.
Okay, ACL. That's a pretty good one. Right? That's maybe a dad joke, right?
Yeah, I got it. I don't know if these two got it.
I got it.
Okay, good.
But you know, these guys volunteer a lot of their time, and it's to you know, help drive school spirit, you know, attendance at games and stuff. And basically, the ACL group put on the Powder Puff game. You know, they're the driving force between bringing it back. 'Cause it's been a number of years since they've done it. You probably didn't notice because a lot of people are gone from the football game, but I know Melusi and some other guys were out picking up the bleachers after the game last week, so we could still.
I did see that. I did see him out. I mean, that's just, man,
And
that's
just
awesome.
Melusi, it's a lot of the kids and stuff, and they commit time to do a book study and meet twice a month, so like kudos to these kids.
Well, I think the first game, did they have kick for Chick-fil-A or something
Yeah.
like that? Like
Yes, I think
that was a
that's
great,
such a good
that was a
idea.
great
It's
idea.
fun.
Somebody kicked it actually.
But did I make
Yeah.
it?
Should we get a gift card?
I don't think, did anybody win? One did.
Our homecoming queen did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brittany.
really?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. I mean, that's the stuff that, I mean, I think it's bigger than like the memories of that stuff. That's awesome. And, you know, hopefully you guys keep building that and make these, like hey, we do it 1 year, and then we have second year, before you know it, it's a tradition, right? And,
Kind of got a kickball game going too after a softball game sometimes.
That's
and then in the
fun.
winter, I think you're doing dodgeball.
Dodgeball,
Yeah.
volleyball.
I
So.
do think that kickball was the most attended softball game we've had this year, but
Yeah.
that kickball game did look pretty fun after that, yeah.
I don't really know what it was.
And the end of it too, however, that last play when the throw came in and
Hit him in
he
the
hit
head.
him in the head as he was about to
Yeah.
score. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would have been the game winner if I remember right,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I really like what ACO does, like increasing student involvement. I really think that's important in school. Because I will walk around the hallways and I'll see just kids like, I don't know what it is. It just seems so dejected from like everything that's
We're
going on.
disconnected,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like, that's what the real school-wide issue in this area is. It's like, people don't necessarily feel a reason to go out into all of these activities because I'm not sure what it is necessarily.
You don't want to say like fit in, but yeah, they just don't say, hey, that's not my thing.
Yeah, it's
Or,
like,
like,
yeah.
We always talk about in ACL, like, well, at least what I always think we talk about is the fear of judgment and the fear of failure. So like, people are afraid to go out and try new things, and then they just come up with constant excuses as to why, like, oh, I'm not going to do this activity because I think it's lame. When really, in reality, they're just like don't want to try.
You nervous?
The FOMO part is almost the fear of failure is the exact opposite of the fear of missing out, right?
Yeah, 'cause it had to have started with like a small group, and then eventually like their friends started to think, oh well, if my friends think this, then I guess they're yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think that's awesome that that ACL group is starting that and just try to build the team spirit, school culture, school spirit. And just, not everything is.
Well, whether it's a cheerleader or a cross-country meet or a football game or basketball game, the kids will tell you it's much more fun to participate with a good crowd and people cheering. Their peers
The
cheering them on and
atmosphere is
stuff.
different.
Yeah.
Because like if we're cheering in front of the audience, they're just all sitting down like, we're just gonna like go back. Like it's kind of weird, so.
Which you can say, I know when I think there was a volleyball game, there was like a whole bunch of sports going on, and when it's not, well, it's in, I think the players, they do feed off of that, right? Then you could tell when they played that West game, I think it went 5-7, and the crowd was rooted as awesome, and that might not have been a West game, I've been to a few, but anyway, it was a good one. But
Well, for a parent who has young kids coming up, it's positive knowing that there's kids like you or young adults like you that are going to make it easier for our kids. So we do appreciate that, Bill.
Paving the way.
Yeah,
I think especially, like coming off like COVID, I think a lot of this stuff kind of, stuff was kind of falling apart anyway, and then COVID hit, and then stuff just disintegrates, right? Like in the traditions that we had and things, so.
And it takes people to build it back up. It isn't going to be adults because it just won't, because kids can choose to listen or not listen.
Correct.
Well,
I think it's very important that we're building like a sense of, not necessarily, comfort, like a way for people to feel like they're okay being there, like a safe space, especially for the upcoming freshmen and like the middle schoolers. I know we're building relationships with them as well, especially like in the weight room and things like that. I feel like it's very important that we're building in that sense, so that way they feel like they care and also that they have a place in the space.
Yeah, being comfortable, and you take that for granted because, hey, you just show up and do it. Well, maybe they have that fear or whatever, and so I think, like you said, look at the memories and the friends you've met all because of the involvement, and some people might miss out on that, and that's kind of stinks for them, so.
That was a good one, though.
I think,
we didn't have to do much talking on this one. That's great, right?
Yeah, good job. Hey, I think this was.
Pick two good candidates.
That's right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
And hey, good luck cross country. Let's hopefully you guys will make that goal here as a team state appearance, and maybe even some hardware for a few of you would be awesome.
Maybe that's the next podcast. Take
Take cross country, yeah.
Might be going on the road.
There you go.
And winter sports coming up. We can culmination of fall sports and cheer, and hopefully, I guess I won't see you in the Cardinal, but hopefully we'll see you in the Cardinal. And Mike, always keep it up with them kids, get them bigger, faster, stronger. And thanks guys for joining us.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.